seed, Mr. Mike Lucente, is going to begin the match. Nice hand for Mike.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bowl TV. This is Matt Cannizzaro alongside Bill Spigner stepping in.
Hey, Matt, thanks for having me in here. It's been here for a couple of days. It's been fun to watch, and did a couple of clinics for USBC, and things went pretty nice. Nice crowd here today, too.
All right, definitely a lot of support here for the ITRC Super Senior Classic. Right now it's time for the Stepladder Finals. And we have number 5 seed Mike Lucente from Warren, Michigan, taking on number 4 seed and 2013 champion Kerry Painter.
Yeah, Mike's one of the old-time Detroit star bowlers. Been around a lot of years in Detroit bowling, and is still competing at a very high level. Obviously, he's throwing the ball really well. I had a chance to watch him bowl some this morning and yesterday, and he looked really good.
All right, well, these gentlemen both bowled 16 games of qualifying over 2 days. And then the cashers round this morning, 4 more games, 20 game pinfall totals determined. The top 5 for today's stepladder. Great shots by both gentlemen to start. Lucente with the strike and Painter with the 10-pin. Our top seed today, Tom Baker, USBC Hall of Famer from King, North Carolina, and he averaged 220 in his 20 games to get that number 1 spot. He's followed by Willie Wells. You might recognize him from the motive booth at the USBC Open Championships in El Paso. And our number 3 seed, Sam Maccarone, PBA champion, PBA 50 champion. He'll be coming up next to face the winner of this Painter-Lucente match.
That's a good shot by Kerry. The lays look a little tighter right now than what they were playing earlier today and yesterday. The ball just went a little long, but that's not a shot you want to make any kind of adjustment off of. Ring at 10 usually like that. If the ball is still sliding a little bit when it's hitting the pins.
All right, we're bowling on a 39-foot pattern here, and if you want to check that out, you can visit bowl.com/supersenior. The graph is up. All the pretty colors let you know where the oil is, and of course the numbers that let you know all the details about that. But a little bit different than what we saw last week at the USBC Senior Masters. And some of these players have been here for both events and have transitioned well from one to the other, and perhaps used the first event kind of as a way to catch some momentum, as they all bowled pretty well.
Yeah, get out of that ball a little slow, release it too far out in front of him, and it's going to go left when you do that. So the first one was really clean off his hand. That one he just couldn't let go of it there. Paid the maximum penalty, almost the max, 6, 7, 10. He can make this though. You know, I'm sure he's going to make a good shot at it because right now the count doesn't mean anything.
Kerry got off to a little bit of a slow start the first day of qualifying and really came back with a pretty huge block yesterday to surge into the top 18 and of course now into the top 5. We did start the week with 73 competitors at this year's event, so pretty good participation and good money as well. First prize today, $4,000 to the winner, $3,000 for second place. But the top 18 did bowl, so 4 games today to get to this top 5 step ladder.
A really good shot by Mike. Mike's getting around the ball really good and really smooth off his hand. A lot of experience there.
Mike averaged 210 to get that number 5 spot. Almost 100 pins ahead of 6th place, so the top 5 almost were pretty well locked in. I'd say the top 3 for sure today, coming into the 4 games. And now getting settled in to make a run here for the title. Painter, the 2013 champion, the runner-up in 2014. So he's had a good run here at the 3. Looking to add to that success, but Lucente looks pretty good here through 3 frames.
Yeah, he does. He's lined up perfectly. He's standing around board 30. Ball's hitting about 12, 13 at the arrows. Pretty open line going down the lane. He's not a big hook player, but it's a pretty wide angle through the fronts. But the ball is reading the mid lane the right way. It's starting to pick up a roll and starting to hook soon enough that it doesn't overskid out. And he's playing the pattern perfect.
All right, here's Painter down early.
That was a good shot there. Caught all of that at the right time. It carried to something interesting. That ball he's using is a high road Pearl. He plugged it and re-drilled it the other day just for this tournament. And obviously it's worked out. He's used that ball almost the whole time. And Haven't done that type of stuff in years, but that was a pretty smart move on his part.
Well, these guys have been here almost 2 weeks now, 2 different lane conditions, and a lot of games bowled. 20 just for this event, and for the Senior Masters, 15 games of qualifying, then the match play bracket. So a lot of games under their belts here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley, and looking pretty comfortable so far here. At least Mike is. Kerry's still struggling on that left lane.
Yeah, the same thing. He kind of pinched it a little bit with this sport-compliant pattern, a 3-to-1 ratio, and the length is 39 feet. And the volume is about 24-something mils. It's not a lot of oil, not a lot of length, so if you pinch it off a little bit early, it's gone left right away.
All right, folks, if you're just tuning in, thanks for joining us. You are watching live coverage of the Stepladder Finals here at the 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic in Green Bay. This is Matt Cannizzaro alongside USBC Hall of Famer Bill Spagner. He's in town doing a coaching seminar today, and joining us for the finals here to give some expert insight as we watch Mike Lucente try to stay perfect, and 4 for 4, and he does.
That was a good one. Mike got around that ball a little bit more, and then one thing I noticed about him yesterday and today, he definitely gets a lot of axis rotation, means his fingers get to the side of the ball, and most of the competitors today on the show are doing that, and that ball actually got out further right than the previous couple, and it still recovered, so that's a testament to his ball rotation and his speed. It's reading the lanes at the right spot, and he's got a little margin for error.
Here he is looking to make it 5 for 5 on the left lane.
Yep, that one he was in a little bit, a little more off the front of the hand, a little less turn, so everything's matching up really well for him. And that's playing the angles correct, and he's playing the pattern correct, and he's getting the ball to roll at the right time again.
Well, this pattern definitely a little bit more forgiving than the Senior Masters pattern we saw, 40 feet, a little bit heavier volume. Certainly a little bit of room to the right. I think the players are going to agree that if they miss the left, definitely a lot of hook in the middle. Things not going well for Painter here.
They threw that one pretty good. That's could have got there. It's just a little bit more. We might need to get a little deeper and get a little more arc. You still got to get the ball out to around the 7-8 board, even out the 6 at the 40-45 foot mark to get outside the enough to hit the pocket. He's just kind of not getting it out there.
There you go. Great shot there by Painter on the 6-7-10.
Well, he's got 3 shots at that 6-10 already, and that time he got the right angle.
And the crowd goes wild, folks. We are here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley behind lanes 33 and 34. Bleachers on both sides filled with bowling fans. And the next event coming up is the USBC Senior Championship, so hundreds of seniors from around the country and Canada already in town checking in, getting set up for that event. And they're here checking out the action at the Super Senior Classic. So great crowd, and as you heard by the cheers, bowling fans all around.
Matt, you're the youngest bowler in this establishment right now.
It doesn't happen very often.
There it is. Got that ball all the way out there on 7, down lane. The ball recovered really nicely. It's such a fine line. If you're one board off and you release it a little late, and the angle a little not enough head belly. And actually, this is an interesting condition for a sport compliant that they can swing the ball pretty good on this.
Here's Lucente looking for 6 in a row to start this first match of the Stepladder. That one a little bit right, but mixes him up. And he is perfect through 6.
Yeah, he's getting that ball off his hand good. He got it out of it a little quicker, which will make the ball go right, but he still caught it really good, and the ball roll was terrific. He's using a Guru, and a pretty strong rolling ball.
talked to Mike right before the match and wished him good luck. And he said, well, I'm going to need it. A talented field here in the Stepladder, but so far he has been absolutely solid. No luck needed. High flush there. Front 7. Time for him to sit back and relax a little bit here and hopefully cruise into the next match against number 3 seed Sam Maccarone. I did talk to Sam earlier as well. He said he was surprised by how much the middle was hooking today. He actually tweaked some balls during the break between the Casters round and the Stepladder, added some shine to something solid. Even the pro balls weren't getting down the lane as much as he was hoping.
Yeah, after watching this a little bit, I originally said it looked like they were tighter, but they actually looked like they were hooking more. But the difference is, the reason why they're hooking more is because there's less play in the lanes and there's less carry down from people shooting spares to the corners. So every day they appear like they might hook a little bit more, but reality is it's the amount of play. And they bowled with 2 people on a pair this morning, whereas yesterday they bowled with 3 and 4 in a pair. So the transition comes a lot quicker with so many more spare balls being shot down the lane to the corners. And being a tougher condition, the 200 average was a premium. You're shooting a lot of spares, so that's where the big difference is. There's a lot less transition because of lack of play.
Well, Lucente enjoying things so far here in the Stepladder. Perfect, 7 for 7.
They got that ball out to around 6-7, and it was fine.
Down to the 8th frame, Kerry Painter, max score of 213. Again, he was our champion in 2013, runner-up last year to Jim Knoblah. And Lucente goes high. The run comes to an end at 7.
Yeah, he alluded that he grabbed it a little bit. He did get out of it a little late, released it a little too far out in front of him, but if that was a house condition, that would have been high flush. The mistakes show up on these patterns.
I think the 73 entrants this week very satisfied with the challenge, at least, of having to go out there and make good shots and make your spares and really know that the 5 in the Stepladder earned their way, throwing great shots all week long. Willie Wells, our 2 seed, well, the highest game of the event, 299. Yesterday, took the lead a couple times. Tom Baker, of course, the seasoned veteran Hall of Famer, bowling his first 60-plus event, cruising into the top spot today with a solid performance overall.
Yeah, they get a little slower again there, so the ball picked up a little quick. But, you know, the position he's in, no need to expend a lot of extra energy forcing yourself to strike. Time to relax a little bit. The 300's gone. It's more get resituated in the game because the lanes are changing a little bit. And when you get on a streak like that of strikes, you don't see the changes in the lane because your adrenaline's pumping. You get a little firmer, a little faster. And then once it stops, it seems like the lanes dramatically change. So he's going to have to reorganize his thoughts and go on to try and make the adjustments he needs for the next game.
All right, well, mathematically, this match is over. Mike Lucente will move on to face Sam Maccarone in our next match. Kerry Painter will finish 5th and take home $1,800 for the effort.
There it is.
Looking to finish out strong here. A very solid week for Painter. I believe many of these guys will move on to the next PBA 50 events coming up. I know Maccarone said that he's planning to take 3 weeks off of work and
quit.
And he's already been here for the Senior Masters and now the Super Senior Classic. So going on to whatever they have coming up next. Nice of them to have all of these nearby and back to back to back.
Yeah, a little soft 10, but it's a good finish for Kerry. It's just a couple little mistakes, and the smallest of errors show up pretty good on this pattern, and he really bowled a pretty good game. So pretty solid, and this week that would have been a good game, a lot of games for a lot of people.
Well, definitely hard to play catch up when your opponent has the front 7 against you. Painter entertained the crowd a little bit, threw some good shots, and just going to come up a little bit short here today. He's going to finish things up here. get to 192 with a strike on the fill here. And we'll see what Lucente does in the 10th frame, and we try something different just to get an idea as he gets ready to face Maccarone.
Yeah, Kerry's had a pretty good run at this tournament, like you said, first and second, and now a fifth. He's a really solid player. He's really solid in regular senior tour events too. He's definitely a factor in most tournaments, makes the finals, and he's been a really good bowler for a long time, and a great show for Kerry.
All right, Bill, well, you've been in positions like this, I'm sure, many times before. Mike stepping up here in the 10th frame. What's going through your head at this point? What are you going to do different here, if anything, as you mentioned the lanes transitioning, of course, and then another match, a big match coming up next. What do you do right now?
Well, basically, I just try to throw the ball the best I can. And, you know, you get 7 baggers on this type of condition. It's just not given to you. You just have to have things go the right way. And that particular shot there of Mike, he really got off his hand fast. The last 2 shots, he went high. So he made the feel adjustment of the ball off his hand. He got it off quick enough that it went to the right. So it's more playing the lanes front to back instead of side to side on these patterns. And so that was actually a good one for him to shoot because he missed enough right where he can feel the difference of the ball off his hand between the ones that went high and the ones that went light. And now I'm pretty sure this one would be right in between, so this would probably be a good pocket hit this time.
All right, well, Mike's going to finish up. Final shot of the opening game here.
That's not a pocket
little
hit.
bit right.
Boy, I was wrong on that one, man. Mike, what are you doing there?
Area check.
Congratulations to Mike Lucente.
So it shows that 7-bagger was really quite a great streak because as soon as you lose it a little bit, it's gone. And with Kerry, a couple of balls that went high, he threw the ball terrific and just missed by a little bit. So they were sensitive.
All right, well, Lucente defeats Painter, 244, 190. And now Maccarone will step up and practice here as he gets ready to take on Lucente in our second match.
Oh, no pins. Good to see Sam bowling well. Had that heart problem. He had I forget exactly what it was. He had some issues, and he came back really good. And he had a little issue earlier this year, and he's back. He looks great throwing the ball. He looks physically really fit. He was always in great shape. Always a really solid player.
Well, Sam did lead early in this event and just fell off a little bit yesterday afternoon. Of course, Willie Wells and Tom Baker both terrific in the afternoon. Sam able to utilize that lead from the opening day to stay up in the top 5 and, of course, cruise into the 3rd position today at plus 289, 214 average. Not a bad week at all.
It's a very good week. He's, you know, the second day, I was talking to him. He said he should have had a lot more. He didn't strike in the 10th, and he opened the 10th a bunch of games, but all his games were between like 2-0 and 230, with never finishing a game off, and it was getting to him. And so the good thing is you had an opportunity to finish it off high, but you didn't finish it off. You still had a high score relative to the field, so you're in pretty darn good shape. So I think if he gets a chance near the end of this game, I think he'll perform pretty well.
All right, that is something he did mention to me as well, and to a point where it was getting into his head when he stepped up in the 10th frame.
Yeah.
You know, wondering if it was going to happen again, if he was going to deliver, if he was going to open, and something, of course, I'm sure that that you would agree, or Dr. Dean especially would agree, something that you need to work to get out of your head. Can't look back at previous games and such.
Well, it's hard to you get that streak like that, and it's hard to get yourself out of it. And you know, the idea is you're always building to the end of the game. And what happens early in the game, a lot of times people start out hot in the beginning of the game, but they're not really learning about the lanes. They're kind of overpowering the condition a little bit, and then it gets near the end of the game, a little mistake shows up. So you got to keep the mindset that you're building to the finish, regardless of what you have at the beginning. Yeah, much better shot. A little straight off his hand. A little weak 10. The ball hit half pocket. It was still sliding a little bit when it hit the head pin, so it deflected a little bit. But good shot after the last 3 or 4 shots he's thrown.
We saw Mike start last game against Kerry Painter with 7 consecutive strikes. Now getting settled in here to take on our number 3 seed, Sam Maccarone. If you're just tuning in, this is Matt Cannizzaro alongside USBC Hall of Famer Bill Spigner. And we're live behind lanes 33 and 34 here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley. Stepladder finals of the 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic. 1-game matches. One already in the books. And now 4 players remain in the hunt here for this year's title.
Pretty close shot there. Good opening shot. A little high. It's a good sign that it only went for a 4-pin. He's playing a pretty strong arc in the ball. He's going around 18 laydown point out to about 7 at his break point. Pretty wide angle. Started getting up in that Monticelli and Weber area there where they get that big angles going down the lane and they get the ball to recover. It's get that nice angle into the pins, and if you're under control, you can't outstrike them.
All right, we're even through 1 frame here in our second match. Sam Maccarone from Blackwood, New Jersey, taking on Mike Lucente from Warren, Michigan.
Little pinch. Got away with it. Really stayed out in front of him a little bit, and that's the trust factor, and it's really hard to trust it on a tough condition, especially when you're on a TV show and you're every frame means a lot. So spares are going to be critical in this match.
All right, we mentioned.
Oh, pops it out.
We talked to Sam before the stepladder, and he said all day today, you mentioned with a little bit less traffic on the lane's not transitioning, carrying down quite the same as they did. And he had some trouble with the middle of the lane, just hooking too much for him. Tried to tweak some equipment before the stepladder. Don't see that ball anywhere nearby. Right now it looks like he's throwing the Game Breaker 2 Gold. Lucente staring at the foul line, but that one runaway past the head pin.
Yeah, he got around that one really early, and his shoulders closed up a lot, so he didn't have any angle through the fronts to the right. It was parallel down the lane, and there's no hold there, and the back ends are pristine down the middle of the lane, so that ball really took off.
Well, at the same time, giving up a few pins to count there, so now he trails by 3. Early here in our second match.
Could be a 9-pin. Whoa, it hooked even more. You can see he was starting to pick up a little early there, and even if he hit the 1-3, I thought he was going to leave a 9, but it really took off. This is a tough situation right now. Your ball's kind of overreacting. You had a great streak, and how do you make a change? You make a ball change, make an angle change. It's just a very difficult situation that he's in right now. He's going to throw a good shot here, I bet. All right in the gutter.
Well, on top of that, as he's trying to refocus and leave that second frame behind, a delay here. He's thinking through it right now as they correct the score, and he's looking at that ball, thinking probably, is that the right choice still at this point?
Well, I wouldn't even know what to tell him to do right now. It's a little physical. He's not getting out of the ball at the same time as before, so his shots aren't quite as good. So that makes it difficult to determine if it's you, the ball, or the lanes. That was pretty good.
Great shot there. Mixes them up and leaves the 7.
Yeah, pretty good shot. After the last few shots, that's a good one. The first game, those are carrying. He was a little looser. He had a little bit better ball roll. It changes so fast, and the conditions are tough. Man, you could bowl 240 and then bowl 140 just as easy.
Definitely a long few days for these players as well. Everybody here, 60 plus. This is the premier event for USBC members age 60 and older. We had 11 players in the field of 73, 70 or older. So pretty cool. They are now called super duper seniors.
Yeah, I saw that. I wonder what SDS was. I thought it was something back from the 60s.
Here's Maccarone leading by 16 here early in this match.
Yeah, just not quite letting it go. Seems as he has a little issue with his swing getting a little early. When the swing is early and you don't let it go early, you're in trouble. So you hang on to it a little long, the ball is going to be left automatically, and it's hard to pry it off your hand in a situation like this. You know you can't really let it go out to the right a lot. You know you got to maybe hold, and but still, a 4-7 is not a bad miss. So that spare ball, he got off his hand really quick and clean. So the timing of his release was better there, but it's hard to do that in the first ball.
All right, despite a couple of off-mark shots here, Maccarone able to leave makeable spares and leads by 14 here.
Got a little more loft than that one.
Terrific shot. 8-pin says no, sir.
I think Sam's just happy that the ball performed like it did. He got out in the lane. He didn't get it right, and it still held the pocket a little bit. So that was a good sign, even though he didn't strike. He's got to be happy with that shot. And all you can do in a situation like that is you want to throw it that way again.
Spare no problem. And for those of you just checking in with us here on Bowl TV, you're watching the second match of our Stepladder finals here at the 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic. Sam Maccarone taking on Mike Lucente. And this is Matt Cannizzaro alongside USBC Hall of Famer Bill Spigner.
That's a good shot. Reacted a little too soon. He hasn't moved his feet at all. I thought the ball got out to the right point. Just read the lane a little early. So I think he definitely has to make a move on the lane. I think 3 or 4 boards left, a couple with his target. Bring his break point into around 10 down the lane.
Now, this pair was freshly oiled prior to the Stepladder. Then all 5 players had a chance to practice with the number 4 and 5 seed getting the last few minutes there before starting the action. In that match, Lucente started with the front 7, defeated Kerry Painter 244 to 190 to advance to take on Maccarone here. But it has been a long few days. 8 games of qualifying on Monday, 8 games yesterday, and then 4 games this morning. So no doubt some fatigue, I would imagine, as well for some of these players.
Well, he was almost back. It was a little more end over end. Didn't go quite as far right, which is good. Says a little more end over end roll gives him a little more control down lane. First game, it looked like the ball, he had the area of getting around it a little bit more. So it looks like that's a point that he has to do, is get the ball a little more end over end, and so it doesn't have as much chance to react hard at the end of the pattern.
Well, that was a great shot there. Seemed a little bit faster than the one we saw on lane 34 just a minute ago.
34, a little more revs. Could be a little bit of topography of the lane. It might be a little low in the middle there. The ball read pretty quick, but I thought he threw it good on 34. So I think he's working it out. He's back in the ballpark for his feel and throwing the ball correct again.
All right, still waiting for our first strike here in our second Stepladder match. The difference so far, just an open frame.
No strike there.
7-10 by Maccarone. We saw Pete Weber leave a memorable 7-10 on this pair in the Senior Masters on Sunday.
Yeah, lane 33. That was a great match. It was sad to see the one not win. It's great.
That 7-10 gave Amleto Monticelli a chance to step up and mark for the title, and he did, defeating Pete Weber twice to claim the 2015 USBC Senior Masters title.
I think Sam's in the right place now. He moved in a little bit on that shot, and the ball went longer, so it looked better. It's better than getting the ball a lot further right, which was able to do yesterday with a lot of players. They were able to really get the ball right because they had a lot more carry down around 8, 9, 10 board because of people shooting 10 pins and 6 pins and stuff. And now there's nobody shooting that, so you don't have any hole down lane from carry down.
All right, we're at the halfway point here. Maccarone leading by 3.
Yeah,
There it
he
is.
knew it off his hand. He's lined up. He's got the feel.
Last 3 shots, all terrific shots. First strike of the match.
They said it couldn't be done, but it did.
Got a great crowd online, and the bleachers are full here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley as we march closer to crowning a champion here
Yeah,
at the
another good
Super
shot.
Senior. Lucente got the speed up on that one for sure, and it got down the lane, and ring 10. Can't throw it any better than that.
Yeah, more end over end, more speed and less arc to it. So he felt out through his approach and his release and got back to hitting the pocket, which is good. Got half the battle won. Yeah, I don't understand this. I don't see any of our bowlers with green and gold on. I mean, being in Packer country, I think everybody should have green and gold on.
Well, looking around at the Senior Championships participants, it appears that their shirts actually are indeed green
Some-
and gold.
Yeah, some of them are.
They've all been given shirts to participate in over the next couple of days, and representing the nearby Green Bay Packers very well.
Another good shot. Yeah, he's got his angles right. He's made the changes. Terrific shot.
So for Mike, the key here is to keep his speed up. A lot of shots just a little bit slow, checking early on him.
I think you got to get that pin out of the gutter there, right? All right, they got it.
The staff here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley on top of things as always. Had a lot of great events here this year. USBC Masters, Queens, Senior Masters last week. Now the Super Senior Classic, followed by the Senior Championship. So a home away from home for us here in Green Bay.
Ooh, got a handful of that one. Got a little right. Good shot. That's better being in Green Bay in the summer than in the winter.
Yeah, it didn't sound like
Yeah.
much fun, except for maybe Jason Belmonte here in February.
He froze everybody out. I was told that the machines ran great here the whole time, and the facility and the help and the volunteers. It was a terrific number of tournaments that they've hosted here, so it's been a good couple of weeks for the guys.
All right, Bill, that one bouncing out of the gutter for Maccarone, so the lead swings back in Lucente's favor for the first time this game. We'll see if he can capitalize on his strike in the 7th, but here's Sam right now. Definitely a very costly miscue there.
Yeah, it happens.
You gotta clear your head and definitely not press here. Still a lot of game left.
Yeah, the worst thing is he has to shoot it again. Actually, Sam's bowled a pretty good game. He's in the pocket all the time, just not getting a break. And Mike did too. He had 3 terrific shots in a row. Just shows that the fate of the bowling ball can change really quick. Goes from carrying to no carry really quick.
Well, Sam mentioned having the 10th frame woes a little bit this week and letting that get into his head a little bit. Same thing happens to me for sure. And then on this one, I'm not sure where my head is on that shot, but great shot there, picking up the 10 pin after missing one the previous frame.
Yeah, just a little mistake, and sometimes you're not carrying well, and you start thinking about the first ball when you're shooting your second ball. And I've had that happen to me a lot. You're hitting the pocket, and you're trying to figure out how am I going to carry, and you're thinking about what you're doing on the first ball, and you throw your second ball thinking about that, and you get a little distracted, and you miss the spare. It's just a mental lapse. It's just a shame it happens, though. But I think we all go through that at times.
Maccarone, a very accomplished player in his day. He's got more than a dozen PBA regional titles. 2 wins on the PBA Tour. And 1 PBA 50 title. So he's been here many times before. Both these guys looking pretty comfortable on their first shots, and the pin's just not cooperating.
Yeah, it's a real nice turnaround that Mike's made.
So Mike making his spares and staying in it with good pin count. And he's going to lead by 8 here after 8 frames.
If he makes it, and he makes it. It's a nail biter. It's not the score. It's how the score is relative to your opponent that counts. So this is sometimes a lot more fun games to watch than when everybody's striking every time, because every spare becomes a nail biter and every count becomes important.
Foundation frames coming up. Lucente leads by 8.
Well, we're faced up nice. Never released. The last 4 or 5 shots have been almost identical, just very, very little differences. The ball kept hitting the pocket, just hard to get that perfect angle.
All right, well, Maccarone's going to finish first. He cannot shut out Lucente. Best he can do is 191. Mike still has 199 out there.
He indicated he turned it a little early. It's still, to me, it's a trust miss. He wasn't going to go high. He made sure he got the ball out to the right spot, and a little extra speed. So the ball just didn't read the lane quite quick enough. But I threw the ball halfway decent.
Definitely a tough spare on our sport condition here. No problem for Sam.
Yep, speed on that spare ball was a little slower, so the ball read the lane at the right time.
So if he can strike out here, then he forces Lucente to get the first one. Sam can get to 179. Mike gets the first one. He's in good shape. If he goes spare strike, they tie.
That was a great shot. Stay behind that a little bit better, and the ball a little more forward roll. Same routine every shot. Wipes the shoes off, cleans off his ball. Need some help there. He got the maximum help.
So the runaway Brooklyn for the double.
That's 10th frame Sam.
So that one important. This one even more important.
it just shows that the miss wasn't as big as the miss was down lanes off his hand. So just shows how tough the condition really is. How good these guys are just hitting the pocket consistently.
All right, there it is. Strikes out for 179. So Mike has to have this first one to win. Spare strike, they tie at 179.
Nine, good miss.
All right, so that was wide to right, leaves just the 2-pin. Possibility of a tie here.
We have one ball roll off in ties.
I believe that is the case. We have our tournament director, Dwayne Hagan, sitting close by just in case.
It's coming down to the last ball.
All right, stage is set here. Strike for the tie. Anything less, Maccarone advances. That one's right.
Oh,
Flat 10, and that is it, folks. Sam Maccarone, 179. Mike Lucente, 178. Sam will advance to take on number 2 seed Willie Wells here in the stepladder at the 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic.
well, it was a tough game, and Sam got a timely break. You know, but Sam had a couple of really bad breaks, a 7-10 and a couple of 10s, and missing a 10-pin. You know, he actually bowled a pretty decent game, and you know, sometimes you need a break. Nobody wins consistently without getting a break.
All right, Willie Wells going to practice here. Tom Baker going to throw a few shots on the championship pair as well. He's our number 1 seed, and we'll see him in our next match.
Well, they're already practicing deeper than where they practiced earlier. Timeless wonder, Tommy Baker. Yeah, Sam got the fortunate strike. You know, nobody wants to throw a strike like that. You're kind of embarrassed about it, but you got to realize, you know, breaks happen in the game, and he definitely threw the last ball terrific to win the match.
All right, Lucente finishes 4th, takes home $2,000. Not bad for a couple days' work. Coming up next, Willie Wells, our number 2 qualifier. Averaged 218, bowled a 299 game yesterday, highest game of the event. Finished qualifying in cashier's round at plus 361. 42 pins behind our top seed, Tom Baker. And Bakes, as they call him, a 2-time winner at the USBC Senior Masters back in 06 and 07. The last player to successfully defend that title. They came up a little bit short this past week here in Green Bay. Did make the cut to match play. I believe he was 1 win and 2 losses, but still nice paycheck for him, and back at it here using that momentum in the Super Senior Classic. Going back to our last match, again, 179-178. Sam Maccarone over Mike Lucente, and a little bit of talk about that second frame where Mike went 6-1 on a spare. Obviously, every pin crucial in a single pin match, in any match really.
They never give a pin away, and he certainly didn't try not to make the spare. It's just things happen, and it's that transition going from all those strikes to stop striking and then regrouping and get himself back to throwing the ball well, and he did a really good job of it. Shows his experience and abilities. Sometimes when people get lost like that, they never find it again, and he found it, and Sam did too. They both performed when they needed to, and it was a good match.
All right, you're watching 5 of the best USBC members, age 60 and older, here at the ITRC Super Senior Classic now. Okay. Number 3 seed, I'll keep you up. Sam Maccarone, taking on number 2 seed, Willie Wells. Willie from Brandon, Florida now. You might recognize him from the Motive booth at the USBC Open Championships in El Paso. Sam coming from Blackwood, New Jersey.
So that came off his hand really quick at the bottom. No extra effort in that one. Terrific shot.
Looks like he was a little bit left of where he finished last game. Of course, the big Brooklyn strike for the double in the 10th. And then a terrific shot to force Lucente. Strike to win. Now our first look at Willie Wells.
Whoa. That ball was coming back from yesterday, and it's about 35 and about 17 at the arrows. That ball went out to 5. And Willie has a unique game. He gets way to the side of the ball in the downswing, so he's what everybody would consider early turn, but he stays there all the way through it and gets a lot of axis rotation, 90 degrees, and that ball has a tendency to want to really hook hard, so he's got to really project it right to control it.
Gives it a run, gets 2. So the old 2-8-10. We saw a few of those this week. If you get fast, you scored it to the right. Ball not going to make it back. But a good place for that.
Well, it's a different ball than they say he was going to use in practice. I don't know what the ball is. It's a Motive brand. He's on Motive staff.
Better shots.
Yeah, that's a good shot there.
10
a
back.
little further right. I like that because he got a little further right, a little straighter angle. Still got out to about the 7 board. Well, he's been around a long time. I remember in the 80s bowling a little some tour stops. So stayed in good shape, and he's probably bowling the best of his life.
Willie works very hard at his game. Finished 5th in this event in 2013, 9th last year. So already much improved. Looking to get his name on a banner.
Good shot by Sam. Got the 10-pin snapping out. Got the ball rolling at the right time. Effortless shot off his hand.
All right, this is the 3rd ITRC Super Senior Classic. This year's event being held at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley in Green Bay. This is Matt Canizaro alongside USBC Hall of Famer Bill Splagner in our semifinal match here at the 2015 event.
Yep.
Sam, 3 for 3.
New game. I don't know what ball that is. He said he was going to do a smack down with a pin down. And I'm not familiar with a lot of the balls out there. I know Storm and Rhoda really well in Brunswick, but the rest of them I don't know. But that's a pin down, smack down. It's really rolling up nice for him right now. Game breaker 2.
Yeah, definitely looks like that from here, but I know you talked to the guys earlier.
Yeah, he didn't have that in his arsenal then, so he must have made a decision that he needed something a little bit better. And the game breaker's been a great ball for a long time, so I haven't seen the game breaker 2 yet, but Sam's making it look pretty darn good right now.
Always a little bit tough to tell from back here where we are. And a lot of the balls definitely looking alike.
Yeah, a little short on that one. Didn't want to let it go. I find one of the hardest things in bowling is make a decision on using a ball. It's very confusing, and bowling most of my life in the era of one ball and then a couple of balls, and stopped bowling professionally before the asymmetrics really started getting in vogue and the resins and stuff. It's gets confusing. Not what he wanted to see.
Not a bad shot at all, but the 4 and the 9 disagree. So he's looking at a tough spare here.
Yeah, I think he's got to get the 1 pin, because I've given him 8 pins in count. If he misses both, he loses 2 more pins, and then the count doesn't become a factor later. So I think he's got to get the 1. He's going for it. Okay, he loses 2 pins there, so he got 84 and instead 86, and then that's gives Willie a little breathing room on count.
All right, so Sam giving up a couple sticks there, still leading by 6 here after 4 frames.
Uh-oh. Sam's favorite shot, 10th frame Sam. Goes to the well when he needs to get that strike.
Sam runaway Brooklyn there after the 4-9 and the terrific shot. But looks the same on the scoreboard.
Got that one out there pretty good. Whoa. He thought it was good too. The ball just slowed down a little quick.
Willie Wells takes the middle out on a spare, so.
That's the hard part about this condition, is you can throw it really good and get a very bad result. And thought he threw that ball pretty good. I was watching some guys this week, and they pured it off their hand and leave double pinoccles. So.
Well, he's gonna give it a run though. Gets 3.
Tough spare, went for it the right way. It's got to hope he can get it. Just like making a 310. That's basically what you're shooting for there when you should leave that split.
Maccarone, 3 out of 4, leads by 23 here, halfway through our semifinal match, 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic.
Yeah, that went high too, and that was almost the same as the last one. It's just a pinch more, and it's could have been 5 through the face too. And that was a good shot too. So the last 2 shots he threw them really well. It's just got nothing to show for it because the ball didn't get in the right spot. Where do you go from there? You move in, you try and get it more out. Tough decisions to make.
But Willie's still getting familiar with his equipment, and his spare ball there let him down on the 10-pin attempts.
Yeah, looked like he lost it a little off his hand. Ball got a little slow. One mistake leads to two.
A few costly shots here, and the momentum swinging back in Maccarone's favor. Can he capitalize? Last shot on the left lane went Brooklyn. Last shot on this lane was a 4-9. Never doubt on that one for the double.
Could have been his best shot of the day right there.
Great time for it, trying to put Willie Wells away early here. That way it won't have to come down to the 10th frame again.
Yeah. Sam wants it to come down to the 10th. He's got to prove that he can do it. Yeah, I don't think it's a 10th frame jinx. You know, it's go through those streaks, and he's tour titleist twice over, a bunch of regionals. He didn't win those by not striking when he needed it.
Terrific break there for Maccarone as he rolls the 6. Shaking his head. He knows that if he's going to win this next match against Tom Baker, he's going to need to figure out something on that left lane, as he's been Brooklyn twice and going high again there. Going to have to come up with a plan B for lane 33 here.
Let it go. Tom patiently striking over there on every shot in practice. That was another pretty good shot. It's just he's playing such a wide angle. It's hard to get that ball in the pocket on this, especially under the pressure of TV. It's not that he's pressing or choking or anything. It's just, you know, he's covering a lot of boards, and the lanes haven't transitioned to allow that shot to work. And that was his bread and butter yesterday and the day before. He was able to arc it out there and hook it back. Lots of side roll on the ball.
Haven't seen Willie throw this ball this week, and it seems like he's throwing the ball really slow here in our semifinal match. Got a nice break there to roll the 10-pin and at least keep him a little bit closer than had he been staring at the 410 there.
Whoops, that might be there though. Yeah, that ball got out to 4.
Willie with a double early, but unable to strike here in the back half of this game, and he is falling way behind early.
Yeah, he likes to hook it. He's probably hooks the ball most of anybody in the tournament.
And at this point, spares are not going to win this game. Maccarone with 6 out of 7, only miscue 4-9.
Just about over. 189. Sam would have to open twice. Not in that shot. He definitely took advantage of the breaks he got. Got it right. Well, you can't expect that to carry after 2 breaks on that lane. You got to be happy that he got it in the pocket.
All right, well, great shot and a wobbly 10, and this match is over. Sam Maccarone will defeat Willie Wells. Sam will advance to take on our top seed, Tom Baker. Willie's going to finish third. Take home $2,400 here in Green Bay this week.
Well, it's nice to see all the entries this week. It's yeah, I would have bowled. I've been having some back problems and leg problems, and still want to get out there and bowl. So I got to working at it. It just comes and goes like the wind for me. You know, without the legs under you, it's just really hard to compete. And bowling 8 games a day with these guys, and guys are in good shape. It's a really good test of your bowling ability and your stamina, which it should be. It's a sport and a lot of athleticism in bowling, and it's really good. Great events.
All right, once again, 73 entries this week at the Super Senior Classic.
Yeah,
Top
a number of
18.
guys. I'm sorry, and a number of guys that bowled both tournaments. A lot of games for all those guys.
Yeah, a handful of them were here for the Senior Masters, 15 games of qualifying, and then 3-game matches in match play. Then turned right around and bowled Super Senior Classic, 8 games a day for 2 days, 4 games this morning, and the field narrowed down to the top 5 for the Stepladder.
And some of the guys are going right to Hammond. They start tomorrow. They actually got the practice session today, and they start bowling tomorrow. So there's no rest for the weary. Tom Baker is physically fit as he's been his whole life, and he's just a bowling warrior. He's just nonstop. He can bowl day in and day out. He's just like he never even bowled. So it's a pretty amazing guy. Hey, 4-9. Good pickup, Willie. Yeah, I'm still a fan of bowling too, so I got to get excited when somebody makes a good shot, and it's fun to watch. Good way to end on a bad game. So, bad score. He threw some really good balls that didn't get there, and get us matching up with everything right.
All right, I'm sure we'll see Willie again. 3 top 10 finishes at the Super Senior Classic. Finishes with 151.
You know, Sam definitely likes that right lane, so I wonder how Tom's going to figure out who's going to start. Let Sam start. Sam ends in the right lane. If Tommy starts, Sam ends on the left lane. So if Tommy's watching the match at all, he'd probably choose to have Sam finish on the left lane, so Tommy would start the match. But if he's not watching, he might not know this is happening.
All right,
Starting to get looser.
2
great shots by Maccarone. He's going to be in the 240s with count here in the 10th.
Congratulations to Sam Maccarone, advancing on to the title match against Mr. Tom Baker. A nice round of applause for Willie Wells, the fine third-place finisher in the league.
Final shot from Maccarone right here. And another terrific shot. He's your winner. He will now advance to take on top seed Tom Baker. Baker's going to practice here. Couple of shots, don't know that he needs them, but just to get an idea of what this pair's doing after 3 games already.
Well, he doesn't know anything other than striking. That's probably the most fun and emotional tournament I ever watched. Was one of the PBA National Championships. You got that 5-year exemption. It was when the tour was new with the new owners, and they formed it. You got exemptions, and you got a 5-year exemption for winning that tournament. It brought tears to my eyes. It was really, I know how much it meant, and him being, I think it was around 50 at the time, or just turned 50. So that gave him 5 years on the regular tour, 5 years on the senior tour, and he really took great advantage of it and really had some really good years, and he's still bowling great. It's like he never grows old. Tom's ball came a little light on the right lane compared to the left lane, so that right lane may be a little tighter, and that's the one that Sam's been striking on all the time. So it's don't know which lane is going to fit him the best, but they moved a little further right on that practice shot. The ball just hung a little bit, so it looks like the right lane definitely has a little more hang to it. The left lane wants to pick up more in the mid lane and hook harder before it gets down lane. Tom's been using that Roto Menace the whole week. He said he got 3 of them drilled and drilled different. This one pin under, and the mass bias is on this vertical axis line. It's made to roll up strong in the mid lane and not finish hard down lane. It's not snap down lane. It's got a really nice continuous arc to it. Tom being a little bit more of a spinner player, he gets around it and rolls it early into the lane, and with that spin, the type of drilling gets the ball to set up better in the mid lane.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. We are minutes away from the championship match here at the 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic. We want to take a minute to thank our gold industry partners, Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm, for all the great support and helping to make all this live streaming on Bowl TV possible. And of course, the ITRC, the International Training and Research Center, part of the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas, the home of Team USA, and a great opportunity for any USBC member to go down and check out the technology and the facility, and of course the great coaching staff there to try to improve your own games and see if you can find your way to the biggest stages in bowling, like right here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley. Best bowlers age 60 and older battling this week at the Super Senior Classic, and now it comes down to 2. Both PBA champions, top seed and USBC Hall of Famer Tom Baker, taking on 2-time PBA champion, 1-time PBA 50 winner Sam Maccarone here in our 1-game final.
PBA titles. He is also the 2006 and 2007 Senior Masters champion and a USBC Hall of Famer from King, North Carolina, Mr. Tom Baker.
Here we go. Tom Baker has elected to start the match on the left lane. First shot for the tournament leader. Never a doubt. Now, Bill, of course, you know if you start first, you're going to finish last. And
correct.
And when you have that opportunity to choose, I'm going to take the opposite every time, put the pressure on the other guy. But Tom wanted to step up, throw the big shots. What do you think about that decision?
Well, he might have been watching what Sam was doing on the both lanes, and like I said in the break there, that Sam bowls better on the right lane so far than the left. Personally, myself, when I made TV shows and I had the choice, I always chose to start because I wanted to finish the match. I didn't want to lose it. I wanted to have the opportunity to win at the end, and that's a different thinking than most guys have. I don't know why I did it at that time. I just was comfortable doing that, and kind of worked out okay. They're thinking let the other guy start first, and you get a chance to throw 2 balls in a row to jump off with an early lead with a double. Makes total sense.
So far, both players looking comfortable, striking in the first frame. This is Maccarone's tough lane. It's been high on most shots. Gets that one right.
Yeah, it's opening up a little bit. There's getting a little transition in the lane, and you trusted to go to right a little bit. That's a lane that hooks more, so the ball definitely came back pretty nice. Getting a good feel for the lanes. Doesn't happen right away.
Here's Baker trying to match Maccarone.
Yeah, he's losing it just a little bit off the hand. Great location. Ball is sliding a little bit when it hit the head pin. Ringing 10.
What Tom did say in all of the many dozens of games he bowled here this week, felt like he had a good look to the pocket on both lane conditions, but Kerry definitely was an issue for him.
Yeah, he carried pretty good yesterday. That big block he bowled in the middle of the block, he shot 250, 250, 240. It's a lot of wood, 750 something, 760. It's
Well, if that's bad carry, I'll take that any day of the week.
I'll take that in my league on house conditions.
So far, we've seen 2 terrific shots from Baker. 10 pin, a little bit stubborn on the second one, and he falls behind early. I have a feeling we're going to see a pretty high scoring match here for the title.
Yeah, if the carry gets going, they're going to strike. Baker the same way, standing about 30. About 17 at the arrows, out to about 7, 8. Hit about 18.
Nice break there, getting the 7 to go late.
Good shot. What was that? What was it? That was a can opener. That was an old can opener type shot. Back to the rubber balls in the 1960s. That's when you got the 5 pin out. It meant something. Now it's non-existent.
Look from here. Tom much farther left. Mitch in the left lane hooking quite a bit more. Sam on the right lane up against the ball return.
Well, I was going to say if that came back, he's in a good spot. That ball got pretty far right. That's where they were scoring from yesterday. They were getting the ball out to 6-7, and the ball would recover nice. So obviously the back ends have tamed down a little bit. And the oil pushing down and the spares being shot.
All right, Sam 3 for 3. Baker 2 out of 3, but down 20 already.
Yeah, he feels it now. He knows it off his hand. It's another can opener strike.
Baker not wasting any time. 10 pin last time on this lane.
Yeah, the lane just a little tighter down lane. Could be the panels. Synthetic lanes. Every lane's a little different because their panels are screwed down into trusses, and there's tilts, cross tilts, up to the hill, downhill. And slight variations make a little difference on the ball performance.
All right, Baker throwing terrific shots, but finds himself way down here early as we get close to the halfway point of our championship match. 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic. This is Matt Cannizzaro alongside USBC Hall of Famer Bill Spigner, and Tom Baker's going to take another re-rack on that left lane.
Yeah, with the 3-pin sets a little closer to the head pin and sets back a little bit, so it's like a 10-pin type of rack. You know, if you hit a little half pocket, then because you catch too much of the 3-pin, it doesn't get to the 6-pin at the right angle, so it's a lot of times 10 pins. If you come in at a wide angle, it could be a 7-10. This looks a little bit better.
All right,
3 pins still set back a little bit.
Baker 2 for 2, wheeling lane 33, and not that time, but the 6 goes late.
All right, good break there.
Breaks up the split, only the 4-7 to shoot at. But with Maccarone perfect through 4.
You don't give a ball like Maccarone a couple of breaks. If you give them a couple of breaks like that, they get loose, and they take advantage of them.
Well, while Baker shoots this spare, let's have a championship recap. In our first match, Mike Lucente starts with 7 consecutive strikes, defeats Kerry Painter, the 2013 champion, 244 to 190. In our second match, Maccarone strikes out in the 10th frame, including a huge Brooklyn strike on the second shot, and edges out Lucente 179 at 178. And then in our third match, Maccarone finding his luck, 243 151 over second seed Willie Wells to earn his place in the championship match with Tom Baker. Maccarone trying to stay perfect here, and he does. 5 for 5.
Yeah, it's a confident shot there. He got it out on the lane really good and just right in the right direction.
Maccarone leading by 42 halfway through.
He smells it.
Baker 2 strikes in 5 frames, throwing decent shots, but running out of room here early.
Well, there's no bad lane for Sam anymore. He's got both lanes lined up right. He's getting the ball headed in the right direction. And great pin carry. You know, having the games on the lanes, you get to get the real feel for the lanes. Tom has no feel for them, so he's coming in cold, and a lot of times it's a disadvantage.
Well, the main advantage, of course, of being the top seed is being guaranteed first or second place money.
Correct. He's got that little hang there, and the other lane's a little, wants to go a little quicker, so it's not easy.
Baker edged out Willie Wells for the top seed. Average 220 for his 20 games here at the Super Senior Classic. First place this week paying $4,000, $3,000 to the runner-up.
Well, even though top seed sometimes is a disadvantage because of the feel for the lanes, you'd never want to be second. You'd always want to be the leader and take your chances. And it's just part of the game that the PBA established with the stepladder format years ago for TV. And it's carried over to today. We still now we have online TV, which is terrific. Being a bowling fan, I like to watch it at home. You know, we watch it at dinner, and we watch the Senior Masters, the Senior Tour, this tournament, so it's fun to follow, and I'd like to see everybody watching it more.
All right, Baker just unable to strike here in the championship match, and Bill, we do appreciate the support and the kind words, and for all of you out there tuning in right now, nearly 600 live here on Bowl TV, and standing room only, bleachers filled here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. Tom Baker taking on Sam Maccarone. We're about 4 frames away from having a winner here at the 2015 Super Senior Classic, the 3rd time we've held this event. 2013 winner Kerry Painter, we saw him earlier in the stepladder, he finished 5th. 2014 was Jim Knobloch from nearby Waukesha, Wisconsin. Jim did not make the cut to the top 18 here this week. And now either Baker or Maccarone. It's looking at this point like it is in Maccarone's pocket. He's got the front six here, trying to stay perfect.
Oh, good shot, good shot. That 10-pin Baker last frame, the rack he shot at was a rack he had re-racked before, but being in the position he's in, and he didn't strike anyways on it last time, he probably didn't take the re-rack, but that was definitely a 10-pin rack. Personally, I think there should be no re-racks at all. Just shoot them as they stand, as long as the pins are set up correctly by the machine. That way there's no thinking about it. Well, a lot of pins pop out of the gutters here. I mean, I think they fly out of it. But none of them pop over to the 7-pin side. You think it'd be making 7-10s like that, but they're not going in the right direction to make a 7-10.
Well, we certainly have seen our share of 7-10s, including in the final frame of the Senior Masters, Pete Weber. That gave him Little Monticelli a chance to mark, which he did. The clutch strike in the 10th frame to win that event, and now this one belonging to Sam Maccarone with 3 frames left.
Guy's having trouble getting that pin out of there, and doesn't want to balance right in the hook. 54 pins. Wow. Yeah, that's the one that went through the face earlier, so it's definitely holding a little bit better now. Good misses. Needs nothing but a... Tommy, what did he get? 225 out. Sam needs 2 marks. Out of 3 frames.
All right.
It's 1.
You said it, Tom Baker, max score 225 at this point. Maccarone just about there already.
248 pace right now, so needs 2 opens. 1 open gets him to the 230s. 2 opens gets him in the 220s. Chances of 2 opens are slim. There, it's back.
All right, Baker definitely not going to give up at this point. Playing to the crowd a little bit. Senior Championships participants in the venue. They kick off with their sweeper tonight and 2 days of competition here. We'll have a recap of this event, the ITRC Super Senior Classic, on bowl.com later tonight. Final scores available as well. If you're just joining us and want to watch the whole Stepladder, it'll be in the archives later today.
There it is.
And there's that 7-10 again.
Well, never went into a roll. It was spinning all the way. That's a mixing 7-10. Usually you see the 5-pin blow out in front of the 7-pin. That's an unusual. Usually on that hit, you're only going to lead the 7-pin, but maybe that 3-pin setting back a little bit caused the set 10 to stay with it.
All right,
we
this
have a
one
winner.
is done. Maccarone is your winner. He's going to step up and finish things off here.
And finish it off in style. That's the champion he is. You gotta give him a couple of breaks, and he takes advantage of it. And that's what the guys do. You never give a guy a break out here. They're pretty darn tough.
All right, Maccarone's going to bowl the 10th frame. It's already done. He's already your winner.
That's 10th frame Sam. Did count this time. Last time he flushed the last one against Mike Lucente to force Mike to strike to win.
All right, there it is. Final shot coming up here. There's your winner, Sam Maccarone.
That's the angle, just hard and straight down the middle. Take the lane out of play. See, they were playing them wrong all the way.
Baker's gonna finish things off here.
Might as well not strike now. There's no reason to carry a solid 7, you know. One ball out of the pocket. He's going to bowl 180 if he makes a spare. So I assume he will. Out of pride. He's working at it. Cross lane. All right. Now, as a true champion he is, he's going to want to strike on this ball to get out of here on a strike. He's not going to want to get a bad shot. He's moved right a little bit. He's adjusting.
Ball change.
Didn't
All right.
work.
Tom Baker, 182.
Good 182 game. He hit the pocket like that. Never had a good feel for the angle he needed. But can't beat somebody who starts with the first 6 on a tougher condition.
Mr. Sam Maccarone, winner of the 2015 Super Senior Classic.
All right, trophy presentation coming up now. Take a look at that.
So Sam, I know that you led the first round of qualifying and got off to a pretty good lead and then held on to have a nice third place qualifying. It must be pretty gratifying to come out on top of this fine field in the TV finals.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone here at the Bowling Center staff, management, and also USBC for hosting a great event, and also to Mr. Tom Baker for bowling great. Unfortunately, he couldn't carry it, and I did.
It seemed like this TV pair over the course of the last couple tournaments presented a few challenges. You made them look pretty easy here in the final match. Is there something in particular that you did to make that happen?
After the first game with Mike, the middle of the lane was hooking pretty early, and I knew I had to get the ball to a certain spot. So one of my things when the middles are hooking at early is instead of shooting for the pocket, I imagine I'm shooting to 3-6-10, just so I can lead the ball in that direction, and it worked.
That's great advice. Once again, congratulations on behalf of USBC and all of the parties for championships at the 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic.
All right, Bill, that's going to do it for today's broadcast. Let's see if we can catch up with Maccarone here in a minute, get some final thoughts from him as we get ready to say goodbye to our folks. Appreciate all your help today and coming out for the coaching clinic and for the Stepladder here. Hope you had a good time and all your insight, much appreciated.
Yeah, it was fun. I got to work with some juniors last night. Had a little clinic for them, for some of the volunteers and for the Bowling Center. And then this morning the clinic with the seniors turned out well. They almost 2 hours worth with them, and having the opportunity to do a show with you is a pleasure.
All right, sir. Well, that's USBC Hall of Famer, Gold Coach Bill Spagner. And until next time, Bill, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt.
Good to see you.
Great comeback, guys. You know, when you start with 7 in a row, you got to lose it, and it's just you came back and threw them all five.
Oh yeah, that right lane went wild. That 2 balls over here, over there.
It was a freak thing. It happens. I guess.
I found the pocket at the end. I just couldn't get it to hit.
All right, here we are with our champion.
You know, everybody has one coming in their life sometime.
Our champion,
break.
Sam Maccarone.
Somebody gets a lucky strike. I said, well, you got it coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Everybody gets
You
one.
both get off for 2 weeks.
They bowl. You guys bowl great. It was fun to watch.
All right, Sam, well, congratulations on today's win. Very exciting Stepladder finals that we had there. Tell the folks out there just a little bit about the feelings right now as our champion here at the Super Senior Classic.
I actually have the goosebumps. I haven't really done a whole lot of bowling. I had the heart surgery in October and been slowly coming back, and felt like I was on top of my game somewhat in the first tournament. And, it continued on in this tournament. I used a bowling ball I haven't used in probably a couple years, and I had it out in the car, and I used it the first block, didn't throw it in practice session, sweeper, and it really worked well the first block. And then the lanes today were hooking a lot earlier than I've seen them hook all week. And I think we all struggled somewhat this morning. And after I got that lucky break with against Mike, I just basically kept my feet in the same spot. I just kept my eyes. I used that one little trick where instead of trying to get the ball to the pocket, I just imagine I'm shooting the 3-6-10, and it allowed me to lead the ball to that spot. And if I got it there, it was at least in the pocket. I thought that's all that I needed to do was fill the frames.
All right, well, of course, the big 10th against Lucente to strike out, put the pressure on him. Left lane was giving you trouble all day long. Clearly you figured that out going into the title match. Started with the front 6. In figuring out that lane, can you talk about the moves at that point a little bit? You mentioned how you usually do that, but today heading into the title match, how do you attack that for that final game?
Well, even the game against Willie, I was trying to do the same thing, but those 2 shots that were bad on the left lane, I was just out of sync with the timing and closed up the shot too early, just never allowed me to get the ball to the right. And I mean, in a title match, I never moved my feet from the start of the second match with Willie. And it was just a matter of just trusting the ball and leading it to the right. I didn't need to try to help it. So I just wanted to lead it to the right. And if I led it to the right, it reacted. I mean, I think the second shot against Baker, I was a little surprised because that was probably the furthest right I had thrown any shot. And when I saw it peel back, I'm like, wow, okay, I know I can get it to that spot and feel comfortable knowing it's going to come around the corner.
All right, well, you got the Kerry in the title match, of course, the front 6. Baker never really got that momentum going. At what point did you know that it was, or were you confident that it was pretty much a done deal for you?
Well, even with him having to strike out for 225, I would have had to open both frames for him to win. So, being that I have been in that situation before, but it's been a while since I've been in that situation. I mean, you still never know. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff go on with the 50 Masters in the 10th frame. So you never take nothing for granted, but I was at that point feeling pretty good. And I really thought he was going to strike out. And once he, didn't strike, then at that point it was over.
All right, folks, it's Sam Maccarone, our champion here at the 2015 ITRC Super Senior Classic. He's got 2 PBA titles, 1 PBA 50 title, and now he can add his first 60-plus title to his resume. Sam, congratulations again on a great week.
All right,
we'll catch up with you for a minute here, get some pictures and a couple extra thoughts.
Sounds great.
All right, sir. And for the rest of you folks at home, thanks for tuning in today for our live coverage of this Super Senior Classic. And that's going to do it for things here in Green Bay. We've got the Senior Championships coming up the rest of the week. If you missed any of today's broadcast, you can find that in the archives on Bowl TV. And, of course, we had all of our coverage from the Senior Masters and the Super Senior Classic. All of that available there, too. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of the exciting bowling action coming up in the near future. Aaron Smith headed to Las Vegas for some Senior World Championships and such. But we'll be back here on Bowl TV again soon. We appreciate everybody tuning in today. And that's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.